Hey, everybody. It is Thursday. It's October 29th, and we're here in the main room with some kittens. If you were watching the regular Kitten Academy live stream, then you got to see me weigh the kittens this morning, and you got to see me put a suit on Tilly. The reason that the suit is on Tilly is because I want her kittens to stop nursing. And this is the best way to shut things down for long enough for Tilly to stop producing any milk for them. So I say it's the best way, and I think it's the best way because really the only alternative is just to take her away from the kittens. But this lets her hang out with them, but they can't nurse. And she took to this pretty well. I mean, she obviously, no cat loves it, but she's already walking around. She's immediately walking around. She's been all the way upstairs and downstairs wearing it, and she does just fine. And I think they've outgrown the basket. They just knocked it over. This happens with every class too. They get to a point where they're too big and heavy for it, and then usually one or more of them gets trapped under the basket because if it falls face down, they really can't get it up. They can't lift it up from inside, so they really get trapped in there. So it's probably about time for me to take the basket away, but that's okay. They've got plenty of other things to play with. Actually, and I'm going all over the place this morning. Sorry, we're three objects deep in our stack, but DJ's been after me to move the cage in here. You know, the cage that we usually have in here, and that way they've got a nice place to put a hammock. She thinks these kittens would really be hammock kittens. So I might do that. I've been kind of resistant to it because the room is so full of stuff already. This room is really packed full of stuff, and that cage takes up a lot of space. So I might not do it either. I don't know. We'll see. So I was in the middle of explaining that Tilly needs to stop nursing because she is a very light cat. She weighs 6.5 pounds as of her weigh-in this morning, and now that she's wearing the suit, you can see how skinny she really is. All of her floof, look at all this floof around her neck. All of her floof hides the fact that she is a super skinny Tilly. But with the suit on, it's a floof compressor, and you can really tell. I was also in the middle of explaining that I picked the unicorn print for her. This is one from Karen Sews that is just adorable. It was a little too adorable for Bebop. I think I put it on Bebop for 1 minute, and then I was like, you know what? It really doesn't suit Bebop. But it does suit Tilly, I think, and it suits her even more when you see the photo shoot from yesterday. Yesterday was a huge day I'm going to tell you all about, but I'll start by telling you that we did Halloween costumes for all the kittens and for Tilly. And I have only skimmed over the pictures so far, but I think we managed to get at least one picture that's usable of each cat and kitten in a costume. And in Tilly's case, the costume was a unicorn costume. And she looked about this happy wearing it as she does wearing that suit. So, really perfect. Let's see now. Where was I? There was something else before all that. Oh, I was just talking about this morning, and she's fine, by the way. She's got a grumpy look, I know, but she's a happy cat. Yeah, look at that. Look how happy she is. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we can do catch up on yesterday because yesterday was a very big day after yesterday's close up. My goodness, it was a big day. Custard went to the vet, as you say, closed cat, and Custard had 4 molars removed. Basically had his wisdom teeth out, I guess. And he is fine, though. He was doing fine yesterday. He came home, he was his usual self all night. And this morning he was a little bit subdued, but basically just normal Custard all day. And right now he's in his office again. He spent all night in the spa with me, but he's in his office again at the moment, and he's going to. The plan is for him to spend all day in the office with me, and I will be editing the photos from yesterday's photo shoot, and then probably he's going to help me play through the first part of the new Watch Dogs Legion game, which I think came out at midnight last night. So that's our plan for today. And if I end up not really digging Watch Dogs, or if I can restrain myself, stay away from it a little bit longer, then maybe I'll edit some videos that I'm behind on. I've been editing slowly in parts the August video bits and the best day ever when we put out all the butterflies for Bessie. Remember that? It seems so long ago now. On that subject, Bessie's owners posted a video of her on the Discord this morning, and it was so sweet to see her. She's just like she always has been, but bigger. She still stumbles around, and they were telling us about how she went to the vet for a checkup, and everybody at her vet loved her so much. So I need to get back to editing those videos before everybody forgets who Bessie was in the first place. I guess it's still a good video regardless. Um, so yesterday, Custard had 4 molars out, and like I said, he seems fine with it, and I'm going to be hanging out with him most of the day. Then in the afternoon, all of these kids went to the vet for their very first vet visit and for their vaccines. So they all did great at the vet. The vet was crazy about them. And in fact, Emily, the receptionist at the vet, said that we were only going to get 4 back and that she was keeping quarts. So not a surprise there, although I might have picked Brumbles. I might have picked all of them. They're just so wonderful. All of them are. Um, but before that, I should talk more about before they went to the vet. So they had a huge day yesterday, these kids, because before the vet, we did the photo shoot. I've been talking about doing a 6-week photo shoot / Halloween photo shoot, and we mixed those both into one yesterday. And I got pictures of each of them just being themselves, and then I got a picture of each of them in some kind of a costume, and with very, very mixed results. Some of them were great for the costume. Bessie, I mean, let me start over. Brumble here. Brumble was awesome for the costume. She didn't mind it at all, and she looked adorable in it. And I only had to do one costume with her, and it was perfect. And if you haven't seen it yet, I posted some. They aren't pictures from the good camera. They were just pictures from this phone. But I had to take a couple quick pictures of her in her costume yesterday because it was so cute, and I posted them on our Twitter already. So if you go look on our Twitter, you'll see a couple pictures of her wearing her silly little costume, and it is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And they aren't even the good pictures. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how the good pictures came out. So she was awesome for it. And then we had the whole spectrum. And I think Quartz was possibly the worst because she just didn't want to hold still long enough for anything. She was just had to keep moving. Clyde was a surprise. I expected Clyde to be the same way because he doesn't like to be held or constrained or anything, and he did pretty good with his costumes. The trouble is, Clyde's much smaller than I thought, and all the costumes I wanted to try on him were just stupid big, way too big for him. But still, he put up with it reasonably well. Um, and even Tilly did a good job. She wore her. She'll put up with anything. She's super easygoing. And the only trouble was that once I put her unicorn costume on her, she didn't want to pick her head up. She sort of like thought that it was holding her down, and it might have been. It was probably kind of heavy. So I only got. It turns out I did get some good pictures of her though, even though. So I'm real excited. The whole photo shoot was really cool, and they each took turns going up there and getting some photos and some costumes, and it was really fun. It was all good, and then we took them to the vet, and they got their vaccines, and they got loved on by the vet, and that was all good. And then on the way home, we got a little bit delayed on the way home, and Tilly, at the last minute, she couldn't hold it any longer. And Tilly had a big poop in the carrier, and I brought them all in one carrier together because I thought it would make them feel a little better. But then I found out the downside of bringing them all together in one carrier is when Tilly had a giant poop explosion, it got all over all of the kittens, just poop everywhere. They were just covered in poop, and thank goodness it happened at the very last minute because they didn't have to, hang around in it for very long. But it was still, oh, it was so smelly too. It's just it was a bad poop. It wasn't a good poop. Um, so it was, it was diarrhea and it was a mess, and they were just covered in it. It was the most horrible thing you can possibly imagine. So I had to run into the house with them and take them out of the carrier one at a time and run them under the sink and wash them off. And then I brought them in here and I dried them off one at a time. And all that happened, the drying off part at least happened on the stream. So some of you got to watch that on the Kitten Academy live stream. Uh, but they all took it very well. The kittens were fine for the baths. Kittens usually go along with new stuff pretty easily, honestly. So they all took baths very well, and we got them all cleaned off very well, and then we dried them off, and we snuggled them up in warm little blankets, and they were all good. The only one that gave me any trouble was Tilly, of course, who she's an adult. She wasn't into the bath idea, and so instead of trying to take a bath, she tried to climb me to get out of the sink. Repeatedly tried to climb me to get out of the sink, and she did all of that, of course, as she was covered in her own poop, and therefore I was covered in her own poop, and that was a real mess. And I had it all over me, like caked in my shirt and stuff, and it was awful. So then I had to go take a bath, but not in the kitchen sink because that would be weird. Um, but yeah, anyway, so that was our adventure for yesterday. They all got home from the vet. They all had baths. I had a bath. And then after that, we made cookies and took it easy with custard for most of the evening because we deserved it. But that's the downside of the Kitten Academy that you guys, you all know it exists, but fortunately, it doesn't necessarily come up all that often. Things like just being covered in cat poop. Once in a while, that's going to happen. So yeah, that was yesterday. Yesterday was everything. Custard went to the vet and got his teeth out. The kittens had an awesome photo shoot, and some of the faculty got in on the photo shoot too, which you will see. And then we had a giant poop explosion, and everybody got a bath. And then I spent the evening with Custard, who did just fine. So yeah. Then today, this morning, we put Tilly in her suit, which she seems to be doing okie dokie with, and because of the bad poop that she had yesterday, and I don't think the bad poop was just the stress of going to the vet. That can cause some bad poops, but I think she's been having some bad poops a bit. So hopefully, not nursing, will help her system stabilize a little bit, and also I put a bunch of stuff in her food, and I'm going to continue to put a bunch of stuff in her food to try to help her get better poops. So we've got uh, probiotics in there, and we've got some psyllium, something that a human would use to give themselves better poops and safe for kitties, and hopefully that will work out too. We'll see. Um, yeah. And then if you were watching the Kitten Academy live stream this morning as all that was going on, and I was weighing the kittens and putting her in her suit, I had some really top tier puns. I mean, really, I came up with some great puns I'm so proud of this morning, but uh, I don't think I'm going to try to repeat them right now because it would just seem forced. So I'll save them for later, but I will remember them because they were great, and they'll get used again. Just really proud of myself right now. I see Gen X came in late. Why is she wearing baby clothes? It does look like a baby print, doesn't it? Like you'd wear for a toddler or something, but it's so cute. I love these little unicorns. And as I said, she's wearing the suit and is going to be wearing it for probably at least a couple weeks so that her kittens don't nurse on her. So, so there you go. Yeah, now everybody's stealing my perfect pun. I see you guys on the chat. That's fine. That's fine. We're okay. Well, these kids were so active when I started the stream. I thought they were going to keep it up, but they were, I guess, at the tail end of it because now they are tailing off. Clyde, come here, buddy. We don't see enough of you. I think somehow you end up as the odd man out pretty often. Let's have another look at you. I think I mentioned that yesterday that Clyde, I put him in the hoodie. You guys, some of you remember the hoodie from previous photo shoots, the one that Rudy was in. I think it was Rudy, right? Somebody can correct me on that. That just made really cute picture for her, and I thought it would make a cute picture for little Clyde here. Um, and it turns out it did, even though when I was taking the photos, I didn't think it was going to come out at all because it was way too big for him. But actually, a couple of photos came out really well. Hi, Logan Berry. So that was cool. I'm excited about it. And then I've tried to put him in a hunter outfit too because I kind of thought, I don't know, Clyde just sounds like one of those names where like Elmer Fudd kind of a thing to me anyway. And I tried that. That didn't work out quite as well, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, now he's looking for a place to nurse. No, this is the whole point, buddy. The whole point is that you can't do that now. All right, you can look though. That's fine. Yeah, there's Karen Soos who made the unicorn print suit for her. Very cute. Oh, thank you, Chumley. Thank you for reminding me about the Logan Berry. Oh, for crying out loud. He's using their litter box and he's peeing up on the side and it's a mess. Logan Berry, why? What was I saying? Oh, Tilly. Yeah. So Tilly, as you know, we had her blood work done before she delivered her kittens, and she had a high BNP, and that is it's a measurement of a blood protein that doesn't actually really, it's not anything by itself, but doctors use it to see if maybe there's they use it as an early indicator for potential heart disease. So it doesn't have to mean anything, but it might mean that she could have some heart disease, maybe, possibly. Um, so what we need to do is we need to check that out in more depth. And so yesterday we did the first step of that. We're just going to test it again. So that went off to the lab. She sent it out to the lab. So she in the house she has a test she can do that will just tell her if it's high or low. But she sent it out to the lab because she wanted an exact number. So that result should come back today. And then after that, the next thing is for us to do an ultrasound on her heart. And the vet, as I think I mentioned yesterday, the vet doesn't do that ultrasound. They send it out. Well, they don't send it out. They bring a guy in actually who does it, who's I guess a real old expert. In fact, I heard lately that the guy who does their ultrasounds, their specialized ultrasounds, is retired, but still will come in to do cardiac ultrasounds once in a while. So they're going to call him in to do her cardiac ultrasound, and I think they're going to talk to him today and let me know when he's going to be available, and then of course we'll bring her in for that. So that's the plan. Is we're going to do a cardiac ultrasound on her and see if there's anything to see, and if there's not anything to see, then great, nothing to worry about. And if there is, we'll deal with that as it comes. If there's nothing going on and if the vet feels comfortable with it, then I'll go ahead and schedule her spay as soon as we can and just get it done out of the way. And then maybe she only has to wear the suit once and we can stop her nursing and take care of the spay incision all at the same time. But I don't know how soon any of that's going to happen. So we'll find out. We'll see how it goes. Look at Clyde is just like, well, I guess I can just sleep here on mom. That's almost as good. Such a cute boy. Such a little mama's boy. That's adorable, buddy. Clyde is such a big softy. You really are. Such a cute boy. He's going to make somebody really happy. Meanwhile, Quartz has decided to do the same thing except on my knee. She's just going to sit right up on here. Tilly's trying to call everybody to come nurse. Tilly, that's your problem, though. You're just too skinny. That's why we got to get you to stop doing all that. Clyde's first in line just in case. Yes, exactly, Michelle. Anyway, well, I guess that's about it. I've gotten through all the news and the kittens now. They're all sleepy. I thought they were going to be playful for the whole thing. This is what I get for titling the stream Kitten Battle Royale, of course, because now they've all just decided to take a nap instead of fighting, which is fine. I'm not saying that's a problem. Oh, yes, Megalina, thank you. Yes, the new mom cat's still scheduled for Saturday morning, and that does mean I'm canceling the mailbag for Saturday morning. I still haven't officially decided what to do to make up that mailbag, but I think it's safe to assume that it's just going to get skipped if you don't hear otherwise, and that we'll just do the next mailbag the next week. But I should mention that we'll probably do a close-up of the mom on Saturday, just so that everybody can see. And I see Organic Skating asking, Calico Mom, question mark. No, we don't know. In fact, I might not know until the last minute. I'm just going to turn up Saturday morning, and whichever cat Dawes gives to us is what we get. So that's the plan. But you guys are reminding me now. When I was at the vet yesterday, I set up, future appointments for everybody. I set up the next vaccine appointment for the kittens, and in the back of my head, I was like, I know there's something else I have to make an appointment for, but I couldn't think of it. And of course, it was for the new mom cat to get an X-ray and find out about her pregnancy and stuff. So I got to call them as soon as we're done here and set that up. I completely forgot until just now. So thank you guys. Yeah, and I think I want to spray that spot that Logan just sprayed. At least he did it in the litter box, right? Like he could have done it on the beanbag or something. But ugh, I want to clean that up. I at least want to spray it down with a little bit of urine stuff and whatever, so it doesn't get all soaked in there in the cardboard. Um, so that's why we use a cardboard backing for our litter boxes, just so the kids that end up spraying over there. Uh, all contained? Yeah, okay, good, easy for me to say. I got it. All right, well, let's just say goodbye to everybody real quick. Well, Maxine, she's only had it on for a few minutes this morning. They will. Every time that we've had a mom cat in the secret agent suit, the kittens do end up climbing on it and using her as a launching board, and she just becomes furniture once she's wearing it. So, in fact, she's at least sleeping furniture right now. Quartz has just decided to yeah, I'm just going to lay right on mom. Clyde's falling off a little bit to the side here. There's our Tilly. So, as usual, let me remind you, if you want to keep watching these kittens, all you need to do is tune into the Kitten Academy live stream right here on YouTube. It goes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and mostly features these kittens when we can keep them on the camera. And for people that don't remember everybody, Clyde here is our boy, big boy. Quartz is a little girl. Tilly is the mom. And Tilly's also the mom of these kids who are Brumble. Don't forget to look for the early sneak preview of Brumble's costume on our Twitter. And then Shire, who's just an inky void back here in the horse. There we go. You can kind of see that he's a kitten. And then obviously a boy. Brumble's a girl. And Morgan is also a girl. So that's the class Kitten Academy live stream. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. We'll do another close up tomorrow. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay. See you guys. Have a great day. Yes. Thank you, Will. I'll have a great day. You guys have a great day too.